video, and it looked like WNBA referees is being exposed for cheating.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. What you're about to see is going to absolutely blow your mind and make your blood boil all at the same time. WNBA referees have just been caught red-handed. And I'm talking caught with their hands in the cookie jar, showing blatant, shameless favoritism.
Going up against the WNBA champions, New York Liberty. And I'm here to tell you, this game definitely came with some drama. That being the WNBA referees. Now, I know y'all wondering, John, what does this have to do with Caitlin?
So obvious it hurts. We're talking about a double standard so glaring that even casual fans who barely know the difference between a layup and a three-pointer are scratching their heads asking, what the hell is going on here? And before you ask, yes, this absolutely has...
Caitlin, this has a lot to do with Caitlin, bruh. Now, we know Caitlin Clark has not been a fan or a person that has been getting a fair whistle in the WNBA. There has been countless of plays, countless of actions and situations that has went down.
Everything to do with Caitlin Clark. And yes, you're going to be absolutely furious by the end of this video. Picture this. You're watching what should be a competitive, professional basketball game between the Dallas Wings and
Kathy, and arguably part of the reason why Caitlin Clark is hurt is because of the WNBA referees. Now, I'm not saying that they're fully to blame, but they should be held accountable for Caitlin Clark being hurt as a right.
New York Liberty. The atmosphere is electric, the stakes are high, and millions of eyes are glued to their screens expecting to see the best women's basketball in the world. But instead, what unfolds before your very eyes is a masterclass in how not to officiate a basketball game. And it's all centered around one player getting treatment that can only be described as absolutely royal. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Here we go again with another Caitlin Clark conspiracy theory. But hold your horses, because what I'm about to show you is an opinion, it isn't speculation, and it sure as hell isn't some wild theory cooked up by obsessed fans. This is cold, hard evidence that's making people lose their absolute minds. And rightfully so. We've all watched Caitlin Clark get absolutely hammered, clotheslined, pushed...
Think of every single player in the league had the whistle pages. You would see more freedom of movement for guards. You would see less hand checking. It is just the hypocrisy of the ref.
Shoved and practically tackled on the court while referees suddenly develop the most convenient case of selective blindness known to mankind. Game after game, we've seen this woman, who single-handedly brought more eyeballs to the WNBA than the league has seen in decades, get treated like she's playing in some underground streetball tournament, where no blood, no foul is the only rule that matters. But here's where things get really spicy, and I mean really spicy. The Wings absolutely demolished the Liberty 92-82. And while that's impressive enough, what happened during this game is what has the entire basketball world talking. Arike Ogunbowale put on an absolute clinic with 20 points and 14 assists, showing exactly why she's one of the most dangerous players in the league. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers had herself quite the night too, 20 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds in 30 minutes of action. Solid numbers, no doubt about it. But here's the kicker. Here's the moment that has fans absolutely losing their collective minds and questioning everything they thought they knew about fair officiating in professional basketball. There's this one play that perfectly encapsulates everything wrong with WNBA officiating right now. Paige Bueckers is driving to the basket. There's some contact, and I'm talking the kind of light, incidental contact that happens literally hundreds of times in every single basketball game ever played. But what happens next? Tweet. The whistle blows fast.
So, Caitlin Clark gets dragged by Natasha Cloud. Then she catches the ball. Natasha Cloud grabs her. Natasha Cloud then has her right hand on her right arm. Then hits her left hand. So right on her left arm. Then hits her left hand with her left arm. And then as Caitlin Clark is pulling up for the shot, she uses one hand to get the ball and the other hand's on the hip.
Then you can blink. The referees see this minimal contact on Paige, and immediately, without hesitation, without even thinking about it, they blow their whistle and give her the call. Just like that. Clean, simple, automatic. Now, this is where a fan on social media, Shout out to Millie on X for keeping it real, absolutely nailed the hypocrisy that's been staring us all in the face. She asked the question that every single person watching this game was thinking. If this same exact contact happened to Caitlin Clark, would the referees have blown their whistle? And here's the devastating answer that we all already know deep down in our hearts. Absolutely not. Not a chance in hell. Think about it for just 1 second. How many times have we watched Caitlin Clark drive to the basket and get absolutely mauled? And I'm talking about contact that makes this Paige Bueckers call look like a gentle pat on the back, only to watch the referees stand there like statues, like they're watching a completely different game happening in some parallel universe. How many times have we seen defenders practically tackle Caitlin, grab her arms, body check her, and play defense that would make NFL linebackers proud, while the referees suddenly develop the vision of legally blind moles? This isn't just about one call. Folks, this is about a pattern so obvious, so blatant, so in-your-face ridiculous that it's actually insulting to our intelligence as basketball fans. This is about professional referees who are getting paid good money to officiate games consistently and fairly, completely abandoning their professional obligations and creating this weird, twisted version of basketball where some players get to play by different rules than others. And here's what makes this whole situation even more maddening. Caitlin Clark isn't just any player. This woman single-handedly transformed the WNBA from a league that most casual sports fans couldn't even name 5 players from into appointment television. She's packing arenas that used to echo with the sound of silence. She's bringing in viewers who never gave women's basketball a second thought. Season ticket sales are through the roof wherever she plays. TV ratings are hitting numbers that WNBA executives probably didn't dare dream about just 2 years ago. When Caitlin Clark plays, people watch. When she doesn't play, those same people tune out faster than you can say double standard. She's literally putting money in everyone's pockets. The league, the other players, the broadcasters, the arena staff, everyone. She's the golden goose that the WNBA has been searching for since the league's inception. And what are the referees doing? They're treating her like she's some random benchwarmer who should be grateful just to be on the court. Even Dallas Wings coach Stephanie White, who's usually as diplomatic as they come, couldn't help but make some pointed comments about the physical treatment Caitlin receives on the court. Now, coaches have to be extremely careful about what they say regarding officiating because the league comes down hard with fines for anyone who dares to criticize the Zebras. But when a coach is willing to risk those fines to make a point about players' safety and fair treatment, you know the situation has reached a breaking point. This isn't Caitlin's rookie year anymore. People. She's in her second professional season. She's proven herself at every level, and she's brought unprecedented attention and legitimacy to this league. Yet somehow, referees are still treating her like she needs to earn her stripes or pay her dues by absorbing punishment that would put other players on the free throw line faster than you could say. And the business logic here is so backwards, it's actually hilarious if it wasn't so infuriating. The WNBA finally has a ratings driver, a genuine superstar who transcends the sport and brings in casual fans. They finally have someone who can fill arenas and generate the kind of buzz that translates directly into revenue. And what do? They allow their referees to treat this invaluable asset like she's playing in some backyard pickup game where anything goes. It's like having $1 million racehorse and then letting people take cheap shots at its legs because that's just how racing works. It's business suicide disguised as basketball officiating, and it's getting worse, not better. Here's the really scary part. This inconsistent officiating isn't just unfair, it's actually dangerous. When referees allow certain players to get away with increasingly physical play while others have to absorb that contact without protection, it creates an environment where injuries become inevitable. Players start pushing boundaries when they know the whistle isn't coming. The game gets more aggressive, more reckless, more dangerous with every non-call. And guess what happened? Caitlin Clark got hurt. She's dealing with injuries right now that could have been prevented with consistent, fair officiating that protects all players equally. When you allow defenders to grab, push and body check one player while giving others the benefit of every tiny bit of contact. You're essentially green-lighting a different level of physicality that human bodies aren't designed to withstand game after game, night after night. The fans have had enough. Social media is exploding with side-by-side comparisons showing the exact same contact being called one way for certain players and completely ignored for others. People are creating video compilations that make the bias so obvious it's embarrassing for everyone involved. This isn't some conspiracy theory cooked up by obsessed fans. This is documented evidence that any person with functioning eyeballs can see for themselves. The WNBA is finally getting the attention and respect it deserves, and the referees are making it harder for their biggest star to do her job. They're undermining the very foundation of competitive sports. The idea that everyone plays by the same rules, that talent and effort determine outcomes, not which jersey you're wearing or what your name happens to be. This has gone beyond basketball technicalities. This is about professional integrity, about treating people fairly regardless of who they are, and about protecting the sport's credibility. When referees fail to do their job consistently, they don't just hurt individual players, they hurt the entire league, they hurt the fans, and they hurt the sport itself. Something has to change, and it has to change now. The WNBA cannot continue to allow this level of inconsistency to poison what should be the pinnacle of women's professional basketball. Fans deserve better, players deserve better, and the sport deserves better. What do you think needs to happen to fix this officiating disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see more content calling out these problems that are destroying the integrity of the game, smash that like button and subscribe because this is just getting started.